Welcome to a bullet game in which we see Alireza Firouzja beat Magnus Carlsen in 29 seconds. Firouzja totally destroyed Carlsen. If you are new to the channel, hello, my name is William. I create chess videos. Let's begin. The live bullet game recording will be shown in part 2, but part 1 we will be looking at the opening theory to this game. Let's look at the opening theory. e4, d5, the center counter. Black strikes in the center, take, knight c3, queen a5, d4. c6. Magnus gives himself a way to retreat. Knight f3, bishop f5. Let's discuss these arrows. Black will put his pawns on c6 and e6 to control the central square d5. Black can get his knights out to f6 and d7. This bishop can come out and then he can castle. The bishop can come to f5, the bishop can come to g4. In the game, bishop d3 was played. And after knight d7, white actually has a brilliant move. I'm not going to spoil it for you because you will see it in the bullet game. After bishop f5, knight e5 is a nice way to play against the center counter. Let's consider a few options for black. If e6, which looks very logical, g4, white already has a huge advantage. If bishop g6, you just chase the bishop with h4. Which we will look at. If bishop e4, this is a total blunder because even though you're attacking the rook and you are using this pin, white is now totally winning after knight c4, forcing the queen away. If you move the queen back, you drop your bishop. If you keep the queen here, then I can kick you away with a3. Then the queen has to move and then you drop your bishop. After knight e5, e6, g4. Bishop back to g6, h4, and black is in big trouble. h5 and you are getting trapped. If bishop b4, you can just play bishop d2 and h5 is a threat next. If you kick the knight away, take, bishop c4, white has a big advantage. The bishop attacks this pawn, the queen can come out to attack, and then white can castle. This logical move e6 is already such a bad move. You deliberately move a piece twice. Because guess what? Black has moved a piece twice, the queen. So why shouldn't white move a piece twice? Knight right in the middle. If you play a move like knight d7, then this is the cool idea with a knight in the middle. You can actually drop it back to c4 to attack the queen. Which I am going to suggest. Knight c4. And when the queen moves to c7 or to d8, you can play queen f3 and bishop f4. It is so dangerous. The point of this is now bishop f4, you're going to castle quickly and you have a big position. If you go pawn grabbing, this is terrible because bishop f4. The queen has to move again. Queen e2 is the absolutely brilliant move. You may have seen this opening trap in the Caro-Kann. There's a mate in 5. There's a queen on e2 and the knight comes to d6. Queen attacks the bishop. So if you move it back, you have knight d6 mate. That's why black, he can't go pawn grabbing. This line is so dangerous. Queen f3, let's say you go e6, bishop f4. Attacking the queen. Queen moves to d8, let's say, and castle. It's just so dangerous. And if knight f6, let's say, you don't play knight d6 check. Careful, take, bishop g4. So you can just take a move out to stop it. And one suggestion is h3 with g4. Another suggestion is knight e5. Just bringing the knight back to the center. Or even knight e3. Because with a knight here, you can get g4 in. Let's say you go knight f6. g4, let's attack. Bishop e6. This is the difference. If you attack too early, the bishop can actually come back to e6. Then you can find a way out for this bishop. A different way. g6, bishop g7, then castle. So you don't play g4 too early. You could play bishop c4. And after e6, now we go g4. You go bishop hunting. If you go bishop e4, you've got this really cool move. So we're attacking the bishop using this pin, you can castle. You just castle into this. g5 is now a threat, attacking the knight, and this bishop hangs. So maybe black can put the bishop back and you've got a couple of options. You can actually retreat the bishop. You can even go f4, which looks very aggressive. You can even take and then retreat it and then play this. White has a really nice position here. c3, you get your pawn structure in the center. This bishop can come out, queen can come out, looking very nice. Let's say black goes bishop g4, stopping this knight e5 idea. Well, you can chase the bishop with h3, bishop h5, g4, bishop g6, knight e5. This really is the critical test against the center counter, where you chase the bishop. As a result, you get space on this side of the board, and you put a knight in the middle. This is what I'm going to suggest. If you can play knight e5 against a center counter, do it. Then we have this idea which we saw before, the knight can always come back. You can't play bishop e4 because knight c4 and you are going to win the bishop. So if you play a move like f6, then you take it. And this is just terrible. Look at all these light squares. The bishop can come out here, he can come out here. This queen can come out, bishop out, and then you castle. If you go e6, we go h4. f6, take, take, and we saw this before. Total meltdown. Too much pressure here. Now for part 2, the bullet game. Center counter again, right? d4, c6, bishop f5, bishop d3, take, take maybe. b4, whoa! Knight d7, which is a blunder. Carlsen should just take and then go e6. Very solid. You got control of your central square. Your minor pieces can come out. These two pawns control this square. The knights can come out. The bishop can come out here or here, and then you can castle. But after bishop d3, Carlsen played knight d7, which looks alright because the queen defends this. And here is the spoiler. b4, whoa! But then this knight hangs. Okay, so compensation maybe. Take, take, okay. Rook b1, queen a6. What an exciting game we're about to see. Firouzja now played b4. Queen takes b4, no other move. Bishop takes bishop, queen takes c3, check. Attacking king and rook, bishop d2, so then the queen defends the rook. The queen goes to the side. I thought, well, if white castles, then e6. Oops. Bishop goes back, knight f6. Black is very quick to get his king safe. But the big difference is, after queen a3, it's white's move. He stops black castling with bishop takes d7, check. King takes, knight e5, check. The king cannot castle. King has to go back to defend the f7 pawn. Rook b1, queen a6, queen a6, c4, f6, queen h5. He might play it. Queen h5 check. c4, he does it. f6 is not possible. What? Oh, he pre-moved. Unless he didn't. Unless this is a sack. At the moment, black has only got his queen out. But look, knight, bishop, rook. King is going to be safe soon. f6, and in this position, the amazing thing is Firouzja missed queen h5 check. He played castle straight away. After check, that's it. g6, knight takes g6, game over. It's just collapsing. You can't take the pawn because the rook drops. If you move, then knight f7 check, you win the rook anyway. That would have been a very quick end. But maybe Firouzja sacrificed or he just missed it. But after c4, f6, he just castled. At the time I thought it was a brilliant sacrifice, but, well, maybe it was. Take, take, and the point of this is this pawn stops this knight coming out. He could have sacked. Maybe he pre-moved that queen f3. Yeah, I mean, it could be a sacrifice from Alireza. Maybe it could be a very deep positional sack. Queen back to d5. Holding. Holding, man. Queen could come off. Rook c8. Queen f3. One way for black to get out of this total mess is to play knight h6. The thing is, after take, take, this queen is guarding these squares. So, the queen protects this pawn. The queen guards f7, so then there's no check. If black can find a way to crawl out, maybe the bishop can come out. And then the rook can come to f8. Black played queen d5, and a brilliant move from Firouzja. I am sure Carlsen missed it. After queen d5, it looks like black has solved his problems because he's going to offer a queen trade, attacking the bishop as well. Where's the attack? White only has queen and rook in the attack, but Firouzja now plays an absolutely brilliant move. Bishop to a5. I couldn't believe it. This bishop attacks this rook, but the queen can take it. So what happens if this? What's the follow-up? Well, if you take this pawn, the king can escape. So you just stop that escape. And with this move, with no escape, white now sets up 2 threats. e6. The point is, you control d7, f7, queen f7 is now mate. The other point is the queen can take on c6 with mate. That's why it is such a brilliant move from Firouzja. Holding, man. Queen could come off, rook c8. Rook c8, e6, knight comes to f6, right. Oh, rook b8, very dangerous now, bloody hell. 23 seconds against 31, wow. How do you stop rook b8? He resigned, whoa. The queen's now come off, take. Bishop still attacks the rook. Rook c8, e6, shutting it down. It looks like black is just setting up his pieces for the next game. Every single piece is on the back. This pawn restricts the movement of this bishop. Knight finally comes out. It is move 20. And one more move. That is it. Totally game over. Rook b1. Carlsen thought for about 10 seconds and resigned. Black cannot move. The king cannot go to d8. Rook b8 is now a threat and it will be checkmate on the back. Bishop g7. Oh yeah, guess what? Even if it was black's move here, there's no time because black cannot castle. He already moved his king because he took the knight here a long time ago. So rook b8, that's it, game over. No way to protect the rook. It is checkmate on the back. I hope you enjoyed this kind of video where part 1 is the opening theory, then part 2 is the application of that opening theory in a real game. Thanks a lot for watching all the way until the end. If you enjoyed this video, why not give it a like and subscribe to the channel at the same time. If you press the bell, that means YouTube will let you know when I release a new video. Have a nice week and I'll see you later.